Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing great. Here we are with the next build for Hardcore Season 9. This is the Jaheira the High Harper build. This is a druid. A lot of fun. I have played this, a variation of this, in previous Hardcore leagues. Druids are in a great spot right now, so very strong, and it's a lot of fun. It's a spellcaster. Let's get into it. So it's nice. We are a caster, so we are using the Seasoned Heraldry. As we have been doing in previous builds, we are using Feydark Illusionist primarily because we get a great CC in the early game, but also in the later game. It works well, and we get a lot of good abilities here. As we go higher up in level, we will eventually go into Vistani and grab Vistani, and the goal is to get the immunity to energy drain. But that's for the Hardcore League specifically. If you were going to do this build on a live server, you could ignore this tree completely and just put your point in these two, and then any of the Wood Elf racials that you'd like. Wood Elf doesn't really have a bonus for wisdom, so we aren't going to use this tree much. You could technically make Jaheira a regular elf or a drow or, even an Azamar, whatever you wanted to do to modify this build. But for flavor, for the purposes of this video, she is a Wood Elf. And we have up to Wellspring, and we are using Autumn Winds. We have a few SLAs and our color spray. And you can see the bar. I have Flame Strike for an AoE. My main heal is going to be Vigor with some potions. I also have a wand. My main hand is the Queen's Scepter, and my shield is a Hexbreaker. We have a few buffs, including Freedom of Movement at level 7, so always nice. We have Gust of Wind if we need to blow any ground mists away, we can do that. We have our Wolf Companion. We can also turn into a wolf or a bear. We can make food, good berries. We have a few other skills that are useful. Long Strider is especially useful. Jump is very useful. And the gear that I'm wearing is a full Feywild set. I have the snow scale armor on. Now, I've said this in previous build videos that I have a full Feywild set bonus going, and that's because a lot of people on Hardcore League will farm to get a full 7-piece set bonus for Feywild because it's so strong, and you can wear it all the way into Epic, so I highly recommend doing that. All of these pieces that I'm wearing are cherry picked, so they all have at least like a Mythic 2 bonus on it, but you don't really need to worry about that. I also have all the slots filled. You wouldn't need to worry about that either. It's just that gear. I highly recommend, if you're doing the Hardcore League, to pick up the Feywild. It's such great loot. It will carry you through all of Heroics and into Epics. My headpiece is the Crown of Snow. The cloak that I'm wearing is the Cloak of Winter. Goggles I have, they come from the Borderlands. They are just blindness immunity that I slotted a Feather Falling Topaz into. The belt is a great belt for casters, the Black Dragon Scale Tacet. This is great because whenever you deliver a killing blow, Black Scale Ferocity basically puts a haste spell on you. So I'm wearing the Bottled Sunlight on my neck, even though I'm not a charisma build, just because it gives me good hope, and it's part of the set bonus. On my right finger, I have the Nocturne Ring with Command and True Seeing and Improved Fortification. I mean, that's Insightful Fort is great. And then on my other hand, I have the Ring of Spring Storms, which gives me lightning. I'm not using Sonic, but the lightning, I have 2 casts. I have one as an SLA and one as just a regular spell. We'll take a look at the spells that I selected. If I needed to summon an ally, we could use that. I took Flame Strike, Freedom of Movement, Call Lightning, Vigor. Vigor is our main heal. Salt Ray is great because it has a stun associated with it. It's just a little expensive at 15 spell points. Where this build suffers is you don't get a lot of spell points, so you have to sort of be careful. And we will take a look at how we perform in a quest. You can see that I have Jaheira. This is actually Mary Stream. We've got the gear, we've got the 1750 helmet, we've got the 10 Reaper Point cloak, I've got the 20 Reaper Point pet, she's got the Celestial mount. So we've got all the rewards for Hardcore League Season 3. And we are going to do the same quest that we have been doing out in the Salt Marsh as a test, just to see how the build plays. Keep in mind that they may change the rules for the coming Hardcore League, even though it's a redux supposedly of Season 3. They may add champions, they may alter the rules, so this is just a base guide for a build. And we are going in at a 4-level split, meaning that I'm level 7 and this quest is level 3. They may make it so it's only a 2-level split. So at level 7, we would have to do a level 5 quest. But, you know, we are not using a hireling. We're going in on elite by ourselves to finish this quest. And like I said, the biggest shortcoming for this build is that you have the potential to run out of mana quickly. So we're going to see how these things go. That was my SLA for lightning. I call lightning. That's just the regular spell cast. So it looks like the regular spell cast hits pretty well. So between both of the spells and our color spray, we are doing pretty decent damage. That was just a normal spell. But I'm already at 85% mana, and there's a lot of fighting to do, so I'm hesitant to just nuke all of these. I'm going to try to smack some of them down. That was the Meteoric Star Ruby that I have proccing, which you wouldn't have on the Hardcore League. That right there, that's the Meteoric Star Ruby. So we have to ignore that effect. I actually probably should, for the sake of making these videos, take that out, because it does add a lot of extra DPS. It's something that would be something that you wouldn't have on the Hardcore League. But, you know, it does give us a reasonable starting point. So that's the beginning. So there is a shrine at the beginning. If I need to use it, I can go back and use it. And on Hardcore League, you will probably be playing with other people. So you can function as like the group healer or the group DPS. This is a very versatile, especially with the CC, and you have your wolf. We're going to try to gather all of these mobs together, color spray them, and then flame strike them and see how that goes. Alright, so that worked really well, actually. And then I hit him with my SLA for Produce Flame. So I do not have any meta magics right now on my Flame Strike. It's purely from the gear, and I'm not running any fire boosts. So I'm going to get these guys. We're going to color spray them, and then Flame Strike. Flame Strike takes a long time to hit, so you kind of want to throw it on a group that is immobilized, because otherwise the monsters will move out of its zone. It's Flame Strike is a great spell, but it's just sort of difficult to use. But since they are all stuck now because of my Color Spray, and I'm just going to kill off the stragglers with the SLAs. The Produce Flame SLA does not hit very hard. You can see I have it empowered, maximized, and quickened. So our first feat at level 1 is maximized, then empower at level 3, then quicken at level 6. I don't have meta magics on the regular Call Lightning, but I do have it on the SLA. It's just the cast time for that is slow. And then if there's a boss, I have the Creeping Cold SLA. Once I get the SLA for Salt Ray, I will use it because that will make it hit a lot harder. Right now, it's expensive at 15 mana to cast Salt Ray, so I'm not. It's a single target spell, so I'm not using it. And then you can see I don't have anything on Flame Strike, but it's still hitting pretty well considering that I don't have a fire boost. 52% mana. So let's get this area started. I think there's a shrine at the next one, so. And we're going to do the same strategy. Now, if you had somebody in the group who had web, you could also do web, although the fire from the Flame Strike would make the web go away after you hit it, but, you know, as long as you get most of the mobs dead, still a sound strategy. Let's see if this Creeping Cold will kill this skirmisher. Yes, it did. And you can see I got the haste from the belt that I have on. Very handy, that item. I highly recommend farming for it. All the gear, like I've said, I highly recommend farming for a Feywild set. Flame Strike them, and then SLA Lightning on him. And we will hit him with the Creeping Cold. That's an SLA, so it's empowered, maximized, and quickened. I'm going to gather them all up. Then Flame Strike. Oh, I hit the wrong monster. So now I have to kill these. So I will just single target. See if Produce Flame is enough. No, it wasn't enough. So I'll hit him with a Creeping Cold, and then this one will get a Call Lightning SLA. Great. So this next area, I should have a shrine that I can use. So I'm going to put a Creeping Cold on that Sea Lion, and then I'm going to Color Spray both of them, Flame Strike them, and then I hit them with him with the SLAs, and he's dead. Only 14% of our mana left, so we really need to use a shrine, and there's one right there. We're going to use it before we trigger this next area, because I don't have enough. So like I said, the one downside of this build is you go through mana like crazy. But it's very solid choice for Hardcore League in just the versatility and the DPS. And then once you get into epics, you start doing very good DPS, especially in Legendary when you get Ruin, Greater Ruin, and you have Ice Flowers. You use the Water Elemental form and Tsunami. It just is very, very strong right now. I'm not sure if it's as strong as the Favored Soul, but it is very fun, Very strong. So if you wanted to go for a Reaper pet on Hardcore League, this certainly is a build. But all of the builds that I've posted so far, you could do all of the content in. It's just this particular one, along with Dame Aelin, are just, you know, they're like very, very... Oh, that got him. Very, very strong. In case you're wondering, you're like, oh, Mary never posts a melee. Yeah, well, I'm not a huge fan of melee in DDO. I much prefer casters. You know, I am intrigued. Like, one of my favorite classes is Monk. And I used to play a Monk prior to it being, you know, prior to the unarmed strikes being nerfed into the ground. After Monk, I went to Warlock, and then Warlock went through its series of 95 nerfs. So, you know, while Mary is sitting as a Warlock right now, you know, it is just a pale shadow of the strength that the Warlock used to be. And Monk is the same thing. Monk is a very sort of niche. It can be very strong. I know somebody who plays it on Hardcore League and does well with it. But it's just one of those things that for the average player, it requires just a lot of extra knowledge on nuances of the game. It's not something that I would recommend. But I'm going to actually make a Monk build for Hardcore League and post it. So if you guys want to try it, certainly can. I wanted to really make a Monk thrower for Hardcore League, but after experimenting with different, you know, builds, I determined that that would just be extremely difficult to do for Hardcore League because the thrower, it's already niched. Like, you would probably have to use a tome just to get your skill points where you wanted them, and just would be impractical for Hardcore League. But on the live server, I have a thrower and it's fun. And hit this boss with Creeping Cold. Cannot color spray him. Use my SLAs on him. Hit him with another Creeping Cold. And we'll let the Creeping Cold kill him. There we go. So there we go. That's Jaheira, the High Harper, from Baldur's Gate 3 for Hardcore League Season 9. I have done this build, and it is extremely fun. This build is slightly modified from the one that I played in Season 6, but extremely fun. This is not a Blight caster. This is a straight-up Druid. Blight casters are also very fun, but
it looks as though many
I wanted to keep it pure with the Baldur's Gate lore. So there you go. I hope you guys are doing great. I look forward to seeing you all Hardcore League Season 9. And I hope you're having a great October and enjoying Night Revels. And I'll catch you all later. Hey there, thanks for watching. To support the channel and help, please like the video. It also helps a lot with YouTube if you subscribe to the channel. It will help me to make more content if you do. Another way to support is to donate through my PayPal. If you play DDO or are looking to play Dungeons & Dragons online hardcore, there's one place you need to be, and that is my Death Smile Hardcore Discord. It is a Discord community created for players of hardcore DDO. Everyone is welcome. The server is open to everyone, and we are getting close to 1,000 members. On the server, you'll find lots of helpful information and easy access to notes, builds, other players who are looking for groups and who are talking about different quests and how to complete them safely. You may also be a streamer, and you can request from me a streamer role, and I will give you a streamer rank and a custom channel for you to link your content so viewers can find you. We have discussion channels for all things hardcore, what quests to skip, what quests give the best loot, what builds are good for what. And if you are looking for any help, it is a great place for resources. The link is in the description below.